Ready, set, buy. Your path to home ownership. What's crazy is that there's so much content on the internet today, it's hard to decipher what are the action plans, the simple steps you can take today to get into a home. So I laid it out here. There's 3 phases to getting ready to buy. Phase 1, ready, getting prepared. The first step is what you have to realize about buying a home is it's 90% mindset, 10% action. With the internet today, you are just pummeled with content, house hacks, all these different things, but there's not a linear path you can follow that shows you step by step with a paint by numbers approach to getting in your first home. Because when I talk through 90% mindset and 10% actual behavior, what it means is this. To buy the home, you have to start by saving money, which is a behavioral change. Most of us buy what we want in the moment. We eat out, we waste so much money, and we forget this. What's the fastest way to make another dollar? Save a dollar. So when we talk through behavior, it's really about creating that mindset of making yourself aware that you want to do something and then making a categorical change with how you live your lifestyle. The second step, getting leverage of yourself. You have to, before even getting your credit pulled, starting the process, you have to make it crystal clear and draw a line in the sand of saying this: I'm ready to go. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of renting, of roommates, of different things that you want to eliminate, fix, or avoid going forward. And then the third step is you really have to find a mentor. And that's where our company comes in to help you and take you by the hand to go through the action items to get prepared to buy your home. Because if you don't have someone taking you by the hand, mentoring you, teaching you, helping you create a budget, holding you accountable, following up, it's very difficult to accomplish anything. Because again, if you're left to your own regard, it takes far more time because you're reinventing this wheel where we have a proven path forward to get into a home. So the next part of our 3-step process is setting up the plan. That's the ready, set before you buy. So here's what you need to do. Step 1, you need to get with one of our mortgage originators. You need to set up a time to look at your credit to see where you're at. Because getting qualified comes really down to 3 things: your credit, your income, and your cash, your assets. And we have to review all these. The second step is you need to save some money. The average American has less than $500 in savings. So in order to get to a house, we have to start saving more money than we're spending. So how do you do it? This whole elimination. You got to cut out the car payments. You got to cut out the frivolous spending. You can't use credit cards. You have to go back to the basics and old school. Prior to 2022, when rates started going up, we had over a decade period where rates were super low. Everything was far more affordable. Those days are gone. So now we have to behave differently to make a game plan for you. So that being said, you need to really save up $2,000 in your savings account as that emergency fund in case a rainy day comes or something happens to you. The next one, paying down your credit card debt. One of the biggest parts of your credit score is credit utilization. And what happens is even if you have a credit card with a $300 limit and you have only $200 on it, that could hurt your credit score by a lot. So start by paying down those credit cards and paying them off below that 30%, and better yet, paying them off completely, but keep them open. And then number 5 is saving up a down payment of making sure you're saving up 3 to 5% based upon that meeting with your mortgage consultant about the down payment funds you have available. Okay? So, and then the last step, buying the home. And I always say this, the deal of the decade comes once a week if you own that home for a decade. So when we look at this stuff, you got to make sure that once you're prepared, once you have the funds, that you partner with a great realtor who can guide you and help you make sure you're buying a home that has not issues with it, clear title, within your budget, and negotiate the terms that fit your financial structure. Because here's the thing I'll tell you about buying your first home. Your first home's not your last home, but it's your starting home, right? So do not downplay getting into that first home and preparing, again, to be able to take action when you do meet that realtor. Because the process is fairly simple, but it's not easy. So where a lot of people get lost in buying their first home, and why we created this simple step-by-step process, is that we get derailed back to step number 1. we lose hope. We get overwhelmed by all the information we read online, and we forget that, again, it's a simple path forward if you follow the step-by-step process versus reinventing the wheel on your own. So that's our simple system. And again, fall through with it and ping us today for more information.